Hello YouTube. So yesterday we celebrated the 29th anniversary of Pokemon. I just want to come here and say that Pokemon Day was not yesterday. It was like a few weeks ago. It was around like February 20 something, not too sure. But I made the made the script for the video like day of, and then I recorded it the day after. But I never got around to editing it until now. So sorry for the late upload, but yeah, let's get back to it. And what that means is that Pokemon announces a bunch of new projects. Of course, we got the usual mobile games that really nobody gives a fuck about. And then we have the trading card game that I'm a little addicted to. But of course, the biggest announcement was the brand new mainline game, Pokemon ZA. After watching the trailer, I do have some thoughts and ideas about what I'd love to see in this game. Keep in mind, these are just my opinion, so if you don't agree, feel free to jump into the comments and let me know why. But with all that being said, let's dive in. So the first thing that I want to touch on, because I think it's one of the most important things about a Pokemon game, is the starters. And I gotta say, this starter lineup is pretty abysmal compared to what we got from the last Legends game. We have Totodile, Chikorita, and Tepig. First up, Totodile. This is easily one of the best picks out of the three. Totodile was always and will always be one of my favorite starters of all time. With that being said, the reason why is because it has a pretty sick design and it stays with it throughout the evolution line. And throughout the evolution line, it becomes an absolute unit. And it's an absolute powerhouse in its respective games. So I've always loved Totodile for those reasons. Chikorita, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. It's a pretty mid-looking Pokemon. Its stats are pretty bad for a starter, and it just has terrible matchups throughout its game. So I've never loved Chikorita at all through every single Pokemon game. And then last but not least, we have Tepig. I'm not a huge fan of the design. It's my least favorite out of the three Unova starters. And the stats are pretty good, and it learns some pretty good moves, but other than that, I'm not a huge fan of Tepig. And hopefully, with all these starters, they get either new forms, like new regional forms from the last EA game, or they get brand new mega forms that make them not only more powerful, but make them look better in general. Next up, let's talk about the setting or where the Pokemon game is going to take place. And that's going to be Lumio City. At first, I didn't think this was a bad choice. I thought it was a pretty good choice actually, especially compared to what other people were saying. A futuristic version of Lumio City could actually be pretty cool. But then I saw the trailer, and it looks like the city is the only place we're going to be exploring. One of the best parts of Pokemon is traveling through different environments, discovering new areas, and catching Pokemon that fit each location. But in Legends ZA, it seems like we're stuck in the big futuristic city where we eat, sleep, and catch Pokemon all in the same place. That takes away a lot of the adventure and variety that makes this series so much fun for me. Now, we'll probably get to explore the abandoned parts of the city that we saw in the trailer, which could be pretty interesting. But if that's the only thing we get in terms of exploration, that's pretty disappointing. Hopefully the game lets us leave the city at some point like the last Legends game did. Next, let's talk about the battling, which honestly, this is going to be one of my hottest takes ever. This is going to be peak battling in Pokemon game history. Not only do you have to think about the Pokemon stats, moves, and typing, now positioning is going to play such a huge role in this new game, hopefully. And also, I have a feeling that this might implement something from another game. I'm not talking about another Pokemon game. I'm not talking about another Nintendo game. I'm talking about a game from one of Atlus's catalog. It's not Persona. It is Metaphor ReFantazio. Now, you might be wondering, what the hell does Metaphor have to do with Pokemon? And also, you might be wondering, have you finished Metaphor yet? No. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to make a video. I promise. Not yet, though. But what I think they're going to implement is a forward and back system. If a Pokemon specializes in special attack, it will stay in the back, while Pokemon that rely on physical moves will be positioned in the front. This is going to add an extra layer of strategy, making battles feel way more dynamic than before. Of course, this is just my speculation, and hopefully they do this. But even if they don't, the fact that their positioning matters at this point is going to be such a nice touch to this game. It makes battling feel way more engaging, and I am super excited to see how everything plays out with this new system. The final topic I think I should talk about in this latest Pokemon game, Legneds ZA, is obviously the Mega Evolutions. While it's exciting to see Megas return, do not get me wrong, I have been waiting for this for such a long time. We didn't get to see any new mechanics or even new Mega Evolutions in this trailer. Hopefully, Game Freak isn't just bringing them back as they were, but they actually expand on the concept of Mega Evolution. One of the biggest missed opportunities in the past was not giving more Pokemon Mega Evolutions. There are so many Pokemon that deserve a Mega Evolutions like Chandelier, Flygon, Hydreigon, and the list just goes on. Adding new Megas would not only make older Pokemon feel fresh again, but also add more variety to battles. Another thing that they could do is introduce some kind of twist to the mechanic. Maybe tying into the game's futuristic setting, or imagine if Megas had different forms depending on certain conditions, or if positioning affected how Mega Evolutions performed, going back to that battle mechanic style. Either way, I just hope they don't play it safe. Megas are a fan favorite feature, and this game is the perfect chance to bring them back in a huge way. In the end, am I going to pick up, pay, and play Pokemon Legneds ZA? Absolutely. I've been playing these games ever since the 3D era, and no matter what people say, whether they think the game is shit or not, I'm still going to play it. And I still think this is going to be a pretty enjoyable Pokemon game. I don't think I've ever had a terrible experience with a Pokemon game, but I have had pretty experiences with Pokemon games. But I don't think this experience is going to be I think it's going to be a good one. Obviously, I still do have my gripes about what I saw in the trailer, but again, this is the first one, so hopefully there is more to come. With all that being said, thank y'all for watching, comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you're excited for Pokemon Legneds ZA, and what theories or gimmicks would you like to see in this game. With all that being said, noches.